What's going on, guys? It's Coach New back in the building with another one. It's going to be jam packed full of jewels, and your time is always appreciated because you could be doing anything, but you're here with me checking out these reviews. And it's another wild one. It's about a man's cousin who unalived his wife and their three kids. Man, yeah, you heard right. The man's cousin unalived the cousin's wife and the cousin's three kids. Man, it's crazy. But let's check it out.
Man who killed his cousin's wife and her three children has learned that he'll spend life behind bars. Matthew Locke cried as the victim's loved ones read impact statements.
Our Sarah Conji was there for today's sentencing. She's live outside court in Worcester. Sarah. Jessica, and Ben, the judge handing down 4 life sentences to be served consecutively, and that is by design to represent each of the 4 lives lost who were brutally stabbed to death. Matthew Locke, today in court, learned his fate. The Ware man is convicted of 4 counts of first-degree murder. The prosecutor says he killed his cousin's family, Sarah Bermudez, and her 3 children. Madison, James, and Michael. They were found dead in their West Brookfield home in 2018. Now, the law outlines a murder conviction to include life without the possibility of parole, but the court today sentenced Locke to 4 consecutive life sentences for each life lost.
And they don't say nothing about what led up to that. Like, that's crazy that his cousin would be able to do something like that. And unaliving your wife and 3 kids. Like, that's crazy. It doesn't even matter, like, what was going on in your cousin's life, man. Like, you found out his wife was cheating on him or something, did it, that's still crazy, bro. Like, you was messing with her and something was about to come out, that's still crazy, man. 3 kids, like, how did this even happen? How did it get to this point where the cousin was even able to argue with somebody's wife and do that, man? And then, like, the 3 kids too, like, he had to just black out, spaz out. He wasn't thinking at all. Like, and all the videos, you already know, mental, physical, spiritual health, man, it's so important, especially in this video, mental health, man. Like, what are you doing with this man's wife that you're able to unalive her and then 3 children too, man? Like, what was going on? This is insane. This one decision just messed up so many people's lives, man. Created so much trauma. Like, the husband, his parents, if they're still there, the girl's parents, obviously, you know, the kids and the grandparents. Man, it's crazy, bro. The cousins, parents, if they still around, like, they say it's not your enemy that gets you, it's always your own people. And this is an example of that. And it makes me wonder even where the husband was when this type of stuff was going on, man. Like, this is crazy. And this is another good example of protecting your kids, man, at all times. Like, even after you have them, like, you know, you protect them when they're inside the womb, but outside the womb, especially, is when it really starts, man. You gotta, know where they're at all times, man. Know who they're around. What they're like, man. Who you never really know who someone is. Uh, like, who would ever think that a cousin would do something like that, though, man? And I know there's so many questions that are unanswered. Like, if it's like that, have us wondering. Like, I know the husband is like, man, what is going on here, man? I know it sounds unbelievable, and it's hard to believe for real that someone would even do something like this. But in all these stories, all these videos, man, they're not stories of real life. People really be doing crazy stuff. So, and this is just another example of getting in somebody else's business. Like, what are you doing? Like, in somebody else's business to the point where you would even be able to do something like that. Another prime example, arguing with somebody else, like arguing with somebody else's wife, even being involved to the point where you do something like this, even if like not sex wasn't involved or anything, who knows? But even if it wasn't, like, damn, man, what could have went on for something like that to happen, man? And if you're worried about yourself, you building yourself, you being the best person that you could be, the best version of yourself, you're not worried about your cousin's wife, man. No matter what the situation was, what's going on. You might tell your cousin something, hey, cuz, I saw something the other day or whatever, but that's it. You keep it moving, man. I don't even do that. I mind my business, man, because it builds resentment when you get in other people's relationships. That's why they say you're not supposed to do that. Just, let sleeping dogs lie or whatever. And whenever they find out and how they choose to deal with it, whatever the situation was, that's what it is.
Each member of my family deserves their own particular, I think, their own justice as it is as an individual and even as a whole. So I'm glad that there was each count for each person because their lives mattered, their souls mattered.
That was Moses Bermudez, the husband and father of the victims. He calls today a win for the good guys, and he hopes someday to be reunited with his family. Matthew Locke did not make any statement or address the court here today, but he did become emotional during some of those impact statements.
Yeah, that's all they had. But man, that's crazy. You hope to be reunited with him someday. Like, man, did he have something to do with it? Like, what's going on? That's all they said. It just all we know is he unalived 4 people and he got 4 life sentences for that. Not running concurrent, so you got to serve one, and serve one, and serve one, serve one, and he's gonna be in there for a long time, man. Which is, I guess, the right thing. He got emotional at the wrong time, I could say that, because he should have thought about that before he even unalive anybody, man. Like, this is what critical thinking will do for you, man. Just have you minding your own business. You won't be worried about anybody else's situation, no matter what, any of that stuff, man. It seems like, you know, like this is what getting high do to you too. Like you get high and black out and do stuff, and then when you come back to, you don't even know you did something. It seems like, yeah, in a situation like that, I don't even want to guess or anything though, because man, who knows what happened, bro? Like, but this is, man, being like the best person you could be. Like, this is the best decision that you could make. You lack a lot of mental and spiritual health, man. Physical health too, man. Decision making, all of that stuff, man. You just need some real help. Like, and it's like I always say, you gotta help yourself, man. And nobody could change you. You have to want to change yourself. But something like this, I'll say it's too late. Shit, you can't be trusted in society, man. Especially, if you do that to your own family, you'll do that to anybody. So he's where he's supposed to be, and they don't take that kind of stuff like lightly in jail, man. When you messing with, kids and stuff, and women, especially if they were all innocent, didn't deserve that, man. So this dude, he's gonna have a rough time in there, man. I know that for a fact.
Killed his cousin's wife and her 3 children, has learned that he'll spend life behind bars. Matthew Locke cried as the victim's loved ones read impact statements.
Our Sarah Conji was there for today's sentencing. She's live outside court in Worcester. Sarah. Jessica and Ben, the judge handing down 4 life sentences to be served consecutively, and that is by design to represent each of the 4 lives lost who were brutally stabbed to death. Matthew Locke, today in court, learned his fate. The Ware man is convicted of 4 counts of first-degree murder. The prosecutor says he killed his cousin's family, Sarah Bermudez, and her 3 children, Madison, James, and Michael. They were found dead in their West Brookfield home in 2018. Now, the law outlines a murder conviction to include life without the possibility of parole, but the court today sentenced Locke to 4 consecutive life sentences for each life lost.
Each member of my family deserves their own particular, I think, their own justice as an individual, and even as a whole. So I'm glad that there was each count for each person, because their lives mattered, their souls mattered.
That was Moses Bermudez, the husband and father of the victims. He calls today a win for the good guys, and he hopes someday to be reunited with his family. Matthew Locke did not make any statement or address the court here today, but he did become emotional during some of those impact statements.
All right, and that's all that they got on that, man, which is wow. This is one of the wildest stories on here yet, man. Like, damn. It's crazy. But anyways, you know, it's Coach Noop. Like, share, comment, subscribe, man. If you're digging this kind of content, man, getting, you know, something out of it. It's how to make decisions, man. Not argue with people, not worry about other people's business, man. And worry about yourself, building yourself, working on yourself, man. Only you can love you. Like, nobody's going to love you like you love yourself. Nobody's even going to love you if you don't love yourself. If you treat yourself like trash, that's what you're going to get, man. Like, if you think negative things and do negative things all the time, that's what's going to happen. If you're positive and you do positive things, that's what's going to happen. You know, you reap what you sow. Karma is real. And you know, life isn't a joke, man. Don't make decisions that you can't get yourself out of, man. So, like I said, time is always appreciated because you could be doing anything. But you hear me checking out these reviews. And until next time, I'm out.